Siobhan, so how long have you been a goddess?
So I started in 2013, and what a goddess is that we're a consultant with Athena's Home Novelties. We're either the only company or one of the few companies that allow both men and women to be consultants. Those who identify as being women are goddesses. Those who identify as being men are Adonis. Um, and we do home parties with sex education, or kind of like I don't want to say a Tupperware party, but like we
That was my first thought.
basically and I apologize, I'm getting over a chest cold, so I might cough a little bit, but we do Tupperware parties, but with vibrators and adult novelty items. So I find that I have a niche, or I'm unique, because I do incorporate my dating life, and also being in the lifestyle. I can talk about that as well during my demos, because there's 12,000 consultants with the company, and there's maybe 3 of us with lifestyle experience.
12,000 people as reps? Wow, that's
Yeah.
a big, huge company. Wasn't expecting it to be that big.
We built that over the last 21 years. It'll be 22 years in April. So compared to other direct sale companies, we're actually very small. They're very intimate. Um, but it's still a decent number. I mean, the amount of people that we've met or interacted with, or if you're from the New England area, you're more than likely have come across one of us or have heard of the company.
So Athena's Home Novelties was started by Jennifer Jolicoeur.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wow, 21 years ago, and it's huge. So it's all across the country?
Nationwide, I believe we have a rep in Hawaii. We have had reps in Alaska. Um, we are heavily New England based, but we do have a big representation in Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, and slowly building up the rest of the country.
So tell me about Athena's Cup. Athena's Cup was an event, correct?
So the Athena's Cup is actually its own nonprofit organization through Athena's.
Okay.
And Jen had this idea 10 years ago. Her and a few of her consultants at the time, that are still friends of hers to this day, were in a room, and they took their bras off. I guess they were either uncomfortable or it was after a conference or something. They threw them into a big pile, and she got this idea of collecting bras. Um, the concept was to bring awareness to breast cancer and breast cancer research. Um, she's also contributed in the last 10 years $46,000 to, I believe it's the Gemma, I would have to double check. It's the Gemma Fund, I believe. It's a nonprofit for breast cancer research. It's not like a Susan G. Komen. It's not like a big name, um, but it is like a smaller nonprofit that she wanted to donate to.
That's
Uh,
great. All,
the
they all add up. Every little organization that contributes, it all adds up to help get us to a cure or to help beat breast cancer.
Mm-hmm. And we've had a few consultants who themselves have experienced cancer, or a family member that has had cancer. Me personally, my mother was diagnosed in 2016. So I wanted to do my own drive in her name. And I
Absolutely.
personally collected, I think, a little over 1,000 bras. And it's a lot of work. They were hoping to collect, 169,000 bras, I think, in like less than a year's time.
Wow.
But it's literally taken 10 years to do so.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was amazed when I was reading all that, and you finally had a final count of 196,000 plus,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
156,564.
and stretched for over 124 miles.
Mm-hmm. So
Wow.
basically it's a big square. There was posts put up.
Yeah, that's
And
something everybody needs to check out on Facebook, and all the pictures. Just it was like a sports complex, right? And just one big square and going around and around and around.
yeah, there was a guy who came out, who started taking drone shots for us
Oh,
and doing
good.
aerial views, which was really cool. And as the pile was getting bigger, essentially he was like taking pictures at each milestone and pictures at night. It was like the nights that it was really nice out, he took some great shots with all the foliage coming in and people just working past 11 o'clock at night, just clasping. There was different, how do you say, responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So there were people actually hooking the bras together. We had Guinness there from start to finish, recording and taking notes and measuring. So there were volunteers there who were hooking the bras together. Then we had them ball them up, to then be brought up to the hill, to then unraveled, to be passed through the judges, to then straightened out, and then clasped by the runners.
Wow.
So it took 10 days from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m.
That's amazing. That's so much work.
Yes.
Kudos to you and especially Jennifer for getting this all started. That's great.
Well, it was nice. It's kind of bittersweet to have an end date because we were collecting for so long to now like, what do we do now?
That's what I was going to ask you. Are you going to work on something else?
I had volunteered for years before, and with my schedule, I hadn't been able to volunteer or be involved with such a huge project. And it was really nice meeting consultants that I hadn't met before. Maybe I saw their name in a group, or I know their team leader, but I may not necessarily know them. Making friends that way and just being a part of it, like it really gave me something to do, and it was nice to have that drive to like, okay, I gotta get out of work, gotta go, we gotta get this done. So it's kind of nice to have the end date, but it's also kind of like, all right, what's our next thing? What are we gonna do next? So
I can understand that feeling. Yeah.
I've had people ask, are they still collecting bras, or are they gonna do another event? And the Guinness thing was just a one-time record. We surpassed it by, I believe, close to 30,000 bras.
Wow.
So I hope, or maybe we hope, we wouldn't have to do it again for some time. The initial goal for us was 200,000, but some of the bras that were donated 10 years ago were degraded.
Oh.
They couldn't be used.
So I've heard that some bras can be recycled. Are you going to donate these now, or?
So when I say we, I mean Athena's, because I have no part in the actual like politics of it and like the decision making. So the plan was to donate all these bras to women's shelters and to be recycled if they couldn't be donated. The women's shelters in the area said due to the elements and due to how old they were, they couldn't take them, nor could they find a laundry service that could take over 190,000 bras
to
wash them. So any of the bras during the process of us hooking and clasping and whatnot that were brand new with tags got set into a separate box.
Gotcha.
So that decreased our initial goal of 200,000, but only by I think I can't subtract, so by like 4,000 bras. So bras are still being donated.
Yep.
They couldn't take bras that had been out in the rain that had pit stains to them that a lot of people had decorated or left.
I was going to say, a lot of people were decorating, writing messages on there and everything.
Yep. So bras are also being recycled to be turned into carpet mulch as well.
At least to get some use out of it, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's not a total loss, no. And I believe, the company went out to Mexico shortly after we finished. So I believe the site's still up. I haven't heard anything of what's going on moving forward. So I believe it's still up for the public to still go and visit.
Oh, wow. At the sports complex?
Yes, it's at the River's Edge Sports Complex in Woonsocket.
Gotcha.
It's like a soccer field, rec center. There was a play area, like a playground area for kids. There's public restrooms. So it was very convenient. It was a huge facility.
Do you know if you've got a lot of coverage? I know there was a lot of local channels covering this, but were national media channels covering it?
I heard as far as Michigan.
Cool.
Yeah, which is really neat. I know that they were trying to tag Ellen DeGeneres, or they were trying to like get her on board,
Oh,
or
yeah.
but it was neat seeing all the coverage for it, because a lot of people in the community didn't even know what Athena's was, let alone that we'd been doing this for 10 years collecting.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I hope, you can come up with a new idea and maybe give you some purpose to do at the end of the day, like you were saying. You're kind of missing that now.
I'd like to. I grew up in San Francisco, and the time AIDS was really prevalent. And I was a Girl Scout up until my senior year of high school, and we would make care packages for hospice care and whatnot. So I think that's something I'd like to do again, whether it be for AIDS patients, whether it be for elderly patients, who knows, something, maybe kids who need school lunches, something like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to get involved, or maybe even starting my own once I buckle everything down. I've got a really big event coming up in December, so once that's wrapped up, that'll be my next. And I'm supposedly going to be writing a book too. I don't know when I'm going to be doing that. I have all these ideas, and I just need to buckle down, and it's just tough juggling, work, a social, I'm starting to have a social life again. Dating is minuscule, it's just, you just have to buckle down and focus. So that's what I need to do.
How about, seeing you're from San Francisco, how about tying a chain of bras from Woonsocket, Rhode Island to San Francisco?
I'm sure it's doable.
You never know.
Two other organizations that had done the record before. There was the last one was in Australia, and the one before that was in Greece somewhere.
Oh.
Or even an island off of Greece. So it's definitely been done. It's not something that can be easily done. I had no idea the amount of work that, we had anywhere from 15 to 100 volunteers a day.
Wow.
And it took the 10 full days. It was just we had no idea. I planned on going once or twice just to help and hang out with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up going, I think of the 10 days, I was there 9 days doing it.
You're committed. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and it was really cool to see other people who were just as committed as well,
That's a great thing about getting together on a unified project, the sense of community that develops.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Tell me more about the Grape Sweatpants event.
That's my next event coming up in December. So I was randomly scrolling through Instagram, and I happened to see this meme. And I think it said, I don't know how PG you need me to be on this, but I think it said, stepdaddy tryouts, wear your gray sweats. And I looked at that and I said, that would be awesome to do some kind of event where guys would try out wearing sweatpants. And I started talking to my girlfriends about it. They're like, oh my God, you should do something like that. And it is cuffing season. It's kind of a nod to cuffing season, because it's almost like the guys get the say. So this is my nod in, well, we get a say back, basically, of how we feel about your sweatpants. So I approached a couple of venues, and they were excited about it, and they fell through. I had a really hard time getting a hold of them. And then I met with the Dark Lady in Providence, and they're floored. They cannot wait. They're really excited. I initially wanted it to be 2 weeks ago, but with actual planning, proper planning, imaging, getting the guys organized. I have 10 guys right now on the roster, and with the Dark Lady being a gay club, it's going to be an all-inclusive event. So anyone who's 21 plus will be able to participate if they choose to.
And what do you envision? What are the 10 guys going to do?
So they get to choose their song of choice. So we're going to have a VIP hour, and meaning that guests can come for a 45-minute window to meet the models, contestants prior. There'll be pictures. We're also going to have a silent auction, so people who do come for the VIP bit will have first dibs at who they want to bid on a date with.
Oh, cool.
That for me, that's raised through the bidding, through the auctions, it's going to go to a local animal shelter in East Greenwich, Rhode Island.
Oh,
So
cool.
the owners, one of the owners at the Dark Lady had adopted one of the dogs from that shelter. So I said absolutely, because I was in the animal field for a really long time, and having been a shelter director myself, I was like, I'm totally game with having funds going to a nonprofit, or going to an animal shelter specifically. But when I called them today saying, hey, just to let you know, we're going to be hosting this event, we're going to be having you as our, how do you say, like, we're going to be donating our funds to your cause. She's like, oh, that's great. What's the event going to be? And she's like, well, it's the first I've ever had anybody call me for this. And, but she's like, money is money. It's, we're just really excited that you guys thought of us. And I said, it's the holidays, so.
That'd be horrible if they were really prudes and they said, oh, we don't want your money.
I was kind of ready for that if they weren't available, and I'd have to come up with a backup plan, because this type of event, a lot of people are excited for the event. I can see some people not understanding the event. When I sent the idea to my mom and she gave me the thumbs up, I was like, all right, if my mom approves,
If mom approves, it's good.
we're good to go. So,
have you been to anything like this before?
I don't know if anything like this has ever been done before. I really don't know, because I've had guys message me, how many people are you planning on attending? How was it last year? And I was like, I just thought of this on a whim, and I'm going with it. So
I love it.
Supporting me, so.
I love it when somebody follows their dreams. Just jumps right into it.
Yeah, and I hope it's a success. It's a different event. I like that it's going to go towards a fundraiser. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I was surprised with how many guys wanted to participate with me just posting on Snapchat, with me just saying, hey, this is what I want to do, who's interested, and guys filled out the applications immediately.
Awesome.
And that was before me even having the event posted or any information, just like, hey, who would be down to do this? And yeah, they're all on board. So we're going to be doing a casting call as well, because my following, I'm on the straight apps. I have gay friends, but I don't have a gay following per se. So we're going to be doing an open casting call at the Dark Lady, where whoever's 21 plus can come sign up to be a model, and then they're going to get crowned at the end of the event as well.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I had this image of like this big gaudy white chair being on the stage, and they can sit on the chair. And one of the guys was like, oh yeah, we have that upstairs. Don't worry, we've got it.
Sounds like a good collaboration with the Dark Lady.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm hoping for it to be an annual event. I'm hoping that this is an event that people will keep talking about. And I have guys who are interested in Providence all the way up to the North Shore.
Wow.
So if they're willing to drive down and do this, they're not getting paid, but they get to meet people, they get to be on stage and have their 30 seconds of fame.
Right.
And I've had guys that are like, well, I've got a dad bod. I'm like, I'm taking all shapes and sizes. As long as you got a great attitude, that's what I care about.
A positive attitude and willingness to just have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not used to Rhode Island club hours. And I live 20 minutes from Rhode Island, but they're open till 3 in the morning.
Wow.
So hopefully it'll be a great night for people.
Cool. I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah, and I'm hoping the event's going to go up tomorrow. I just need to make sure my work schedule works with it, because I would hate to put the event out there and I have to be able. But the animal shelter's on board, the Dark Lady's on board. We're hoping to get some imaging out soon and promos, so I'm excited.
Excellent. I'll be keeping an eye on your page and then letting everybody know about it as we get closer to it.
I'll send you snaps.
Cool. Excellent.
So, alrighty.
All right. Thanks, Siobhan.
Right,
Great
I'll
talking
talk
with
to
you.